Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is the MTG Master 342 and this is going to be my first Magic related video, and because my name is the MTG Master 342, you know I play Magic the Gathering. Now before I get started into this set review, I'm going to talk to you about my local card shop. It is Board Night. You can find it at 228 West Main Street in downtown Decatur. We are having a pre-release event. We're having multiple pre-release events. You can find the rest of the dates on their Facebook page, but I'm going to tell you about the one I'm going to. I'm going to the midnight pre-release on January 13th, I believe. Yes, January 13th at 12 o'clock is when we start the pre-release, but feel free to come down and play F&M at 6:30. Bring your standard decks, of course. Now, we're going to be for the pre-release and F&M, instead of going to Board Night at 228, you're just going to walk across the street to the Salvation Army and just come on in, sit down, play some Magic, bring your Vintage, bring your Standard, bring your Modern, bring your Legacy, bring your Commander decks. Bring whatever Magic deck you want, because we're going to have time after F&M. We're going to be waiting for 12 o'clock to roll around so we can crack open them packs and start the booster draft. Okay, now today, I think would be a good day to do blue and white. Just the blue and white because it's a pretty lengthy set. So let's start off with white. Go first. Now this card is called Slaughter the Strong. It is 2 white and a colorless. Sorcery speed. Each player chooses any number of creatures with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices the rest. Now total power, so you could pick 4 1/1s, 2 2/2s, or 1 4/4. Now this card is probably going to see play. Now I can almost guarantee it's going to see play, especially with Settle the Wreckage in the Approach the Suns deck. So, in my opinion, very viable card in what is going to be the new metagame. Now the next card is Trapjaw Regisaur. It is, come on, a 2 white and 3 colorless for a dinosaur creature, and it has Enrage, and whenever it is dealt damage, exile target creature an opponent controls until Trapjaw Regisaur leaves the battlefield. Not going to see play. It's basically an act of treason on a 5/5 stick. So, might see play, but I don't see white being very big in the dinosaur part of things. Alright, we have the next card. We have Mysterious End. It is 1 colorless and 1 white. It is an enchantment, and whenever it enters the battlefield, exile target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less, and opponent controls. And when Mysterious End leaves the battlefield, exile target opponent creature becomes a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token. Target opponent creates a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token with trample. Now, I don't think this will see very much play, because I mean, sure, you take their card and it's only a 3 mana cost creature, but they get a 3/3. It might not even been that good. It's an enchantment. I mean, it only costs 2. Might see play. Might not. Alright. Then we have Forerunner of the Legion. This card is great. Definitely going to see play in a Black-White Vampires deck. Now, what we have here is we have a 2 colorless and 1 white for a Vampire Knight creature. And whenever Forerunner of the Legion enters the battlefield, you get to tutor up a Vampire card and put it on top of your library. And whenever another vampire enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So, you tutor out and put it on top of your deck, any vampire that you want, but whenever a vampire enters the battlefield, something gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Definitely going to see play if the Black-White Vampires is viable, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. Next, we have Sphinx's Decree. This card is great. I love this card. It's a colorless and a white, and each opponent can't cast spells, instant or sorcery spells, during that player's next turn. Oh, this card's going to be a pain in the butt if you're playing control, especially whenever you're relying on Second Sun as your game plan. This shuts down Second Sun, so you count off until their 7th turn, or you just keep track of where that Second Sun is. And then you're going to play that right before, get you that extra turn. Definitely going to see playing sideboards. I don't know about main boards, but definitely sideboards, if not main. Okay, the next card we have Binding Bishop. or Bishop of Binding, sorry. This is, in my opinion, a better hostage taker. It has the same active treason effect in that it puts it underneath it, so it's... but it has a different effect. It's enters the battlefield, target creature exiles underneath it. And whenever Bishop of Binding attacks, target vampire gets +X until end of turn, where X is the power of the exiled card. So let's say you... It is a 1/1, by the way. And let's say you exile a 3/3. You bring it back underneath it, and... No, wait, you exile it. Yeah, you exile it, and what happens is... Let's say it's a 3/3 and you attack with Bishop of Binding. It now swings as a 4/4. Or any other vampire that you choose to attack with, so I believe definitely going to see play. The next card is, not a very good card in my opinion. Sky Marcher Aspirant. It is 1 white for a 2/1, and it has Ascend, so if you control 2 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. Now, Sky Marcher Aspirant has flying as long as you have the City's Blessing. You're going to get the City's Blessing by turn 4 or 5. I doubt anything in Standard could get it by turn 2 or 3 when this card's actually viable. Who cares about a 2/1 with flying by turn 4 or 5? Who? It's not very good value, especially with the City's Blessing. Other than that, it's a 2/1. Might see play a little bit in the Black-White Vampires deck, but I don't believe it's going to see a lot of play in other decks, or in the Standard meta at all. I think a good draft card. I think it would work good in draft. Next we have Famished Paladin. It is a Vampire Knight creature. It is 1 white and a colorless for a 3/3, and it doesn't untap during your untap step, but whenever you gain life, untap it. This is interesting because you can swing and then gain some life and untap it. I think it's definitely going to see play a little bit in the Black-White Vampires deck, or any type of life gain deck. It might see a little bit of play in the Second Sun deck. It's kind of like a get out there early kind of beater, blocker, you know what I mean? And next we have Paladin of Atonement. It is 1 colorless and a white for a 1/1 Vampire Knight. And it reads, at the beginning of each upkeep, if you lost life last turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Paladin of Atonement. So there's its buffing itself. And whenever Paladin of Atonement dies, you gain life equal to its toughness. So let's say last turn you hit me for 2. Next turn, I'm going to put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Let's say it dies that turn. It dies as a 3/3, so you gain 3 life. I believe this card at 2 mana is definitely, almost absolutely going to see play in any type of Black-White life gain, Black-White Vampires. Might even see play in some sort of Second Sun deck or life gain deck. So yes, definitely a good card. You're definitely going to see this in Standard. Next, we have Temple Altasaur. 4 colorless and a white for a 3/4 dinosaur. And if a source would deal damage to another dinosaur you control, prevent all but 1 of that damage. 5 mana for a 3/4. Really? In white? The dinosaur? That's ability is to help other dinosaurs? What? What are they trying to do? Why? What? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Hey, wizards. The hell are you doing? Why are we putting white dinosaurs that abilities connect with other white dinosaurs when I believe that white isn't even going to see play with very much dinosaurs? I believe that white's going to be almost dedicated to vampires. Every good dinosaur card is in green or red. None of the other good dinosaurs except for the blue Elder Dragon are going to be seen play in white. So, come on, wizards. Come on, you gotta play better than this. And it's a 3/4 for 5 that prevents all but 1 damage to a dinosaur. All but 1. It's still going to take damage. If it said prevent all damage, I wouldn't have to critique it so much, but no, it says prevent all but 1 damage. This card sucks and is not going to see any play in Standard. Now next we have a very interesting card in my opinion. It is Radiant Destiny. It's an enchantment, 2 colorless and white, with Ascend, so if you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. Now, as Radiant Destiny enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, as long as you have the City's Blessing. They also have Vigilance. going to see play in Black White Vampires. All the white cards are going to see play in Black White Vampires. I don't care who you are. Almost all the good white cards, don't get me wrong, the good white cards are going to see play in Black White Vampires. At least so far. I don't think we have the whole set yet, but so far, all the good white cards. Definitely a good card. Probably going to see some play in Standard. Probably in boards, maybe in mains, we don't know yet. Next we have Sun-Crested Pterodon. 4 colorless and a white for a 2/5 with flying. It's a dinosaur. Sun-Crested Pterodon has vigilance as long as you control another dinosaur. Wizards! White dinosaurs again. White dinosaurs. With abilities that only help other dinosaurs. It's a 2/5 for 5. Why? Wizards, you gotta step your game up. Come on. Now next we have the Elder Dinosaur for white. This, I will admit, might see some play. This is the only good white dinosaur that I've seen. Zitalpa Primal Dawn. 6 colorless and 2 white, so 8 mana altogether for double white. It's a 4/8 with flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. If you can give this thing hexproof, it's unkillable. If you put blossoming defense on this and just swing, 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 beat, 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 beat. It is a beat machine. If you can get this card out, if you lose the game, you're the worst Magic player on earth. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on to blue. Alright. The first card we have is Sea Legs. It is 1 blue. It's an enchantment aura with flash, and it says enchant creature gets +0/+2 as long as it's a pirate. Otherwise, it gets -2 nego. One of those useless neg abilities, doesn't kill, doesn't exactly help. Not a very good card. Probably not going to see play in Standard. Maybe a little bit in Draft because it's only 1 mana, and it has flash, so preventing that quick combat damage is good. But I don't think it's going to see play in regular Standard. Hornswoggle. 2 colorless and a blue. It's an instant, and counter target creature spell you control. Wait, sorry. Counter target creature spell, you create a colorless treasure token that has tap, sacrifice, add 1 mana to your mana pool. Depends on where they go with control in this set. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play because we have Essence Scatter. And it's still going to be in Standard even after this because it's an Amonkhet. Or Hour. I don't know which one, either one of those two. But I don't think it's going to see any play in Standard. We have good old-fashioned Negate. When is Negate not going to see play in Standard? Ask yourselves this. Next card. Oh, it's a foreign card. We gotta click for the translation, ladies and gentlemen. Disperse in the Wild. 2 blue and a colorless. No, wait. 1 blue, 2 colorless, sorry. It's an instant, and it says exile target non-land permanent. For as long as this card remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So you basically exile it until they can play it again. I don't see what's good about this. Exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. So they just pay the mana cost again and get it back. I mean, you do this during their turn, but it only gets rid of it for a turn, so it's basically a tempo effect. Might see a little bit of play. Like I said with the last card, depends on where they go with control in this set. I don't think it's going to see very much play, but yeah. Okay, more blue. We have Crafty Cutpurse. 3 colorless and a blue. For a human pirate, it's a 2/2. It has flash, and whenever it enters the battlefield, each token that would be created under an opponent's control this turn is created under your control. It has flash. So in the Abzan tokens deck that I'm pretty sure it might actually happen, thank God, you use this against it. I want to make 5 1/1s. Flash in Crafty Cutpurse for 4 mana. Give me your tokens, little boy. Next. So I think it's definitely going to see play in Standard, at least in sideboards. This card. Nizal, Primal Tide. 5 colorless and 2 blue. It's legendary Elder Dragon. Elder Dragon, I keep saying Elder Dragon. Elder Dinosaur. Nizal, Primal Tide can't be countered. Now, you have no maximum hand size. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, draw a card. And discard 3 cards, exile it, and then return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. What if you mill this into your graveyard and then just pay 3 to bring it back? This is definitely going to see play, if not in other standard decks, in the blue-black Reanimator deck that I have built with Liliana Death's Majesty, where her neg 3 is bringing something back. So, I mean, you wouldn't even have to use his ability if you could just neg 3 your Liliana. But, okay, definitely, I believe you're going to see play in standard. We got a foreign card here. So, we have Warsail Marauder. 1 blue, 1 colorless. It's a human pirate, it's a 2/1, and it has flying, and whenever Warsail Marauder attacks, target creature defending player controls loses all abilities, and has a base power and toughness of 0/1. So it's a beater that's allowed to get past stuff. Like, you target their 5/5 flyer, it becomes a 0/1 until end of turn and loses its abilities pretty much. So, I think you might see play in standard because it's reasonably priced as a 2/1 for 2. Alright, the next card we have is Flood of Recollection. It is double blue, and it's a sorcery, and it says return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, exile Flood of Recollection. Card's good. It's going to see play in Commander, most likely. Depends, like I said, we don't know yet. Control is one of my favorite decks to play, but as it stands right now, probably not going to see play. Because if you're using cards, you don't want to be digging stuff back out of your graveyard. Because, well, I mean, we are going to lose Torrential Gearhulk. So, might see some play. Main board, maybe 1 or 2 copies. Not going to make that big of a splash in the metagame. Next card. This card is interesting. It's Admiral's Orders. And it's 1 colorless and 2 blue. It's an instant and it's raid. So if you attack with a creature this turn, you can play blue rather than play its mana cost. So let's say you swing with something. It is basically a counterspell for 1 blue. This card's definitely going to see play in any control deck that's going to be playing blue if you have at least 1 creature. Either way, it's basically Void Shatter for 2 blue and a colorless counter target spell. But there's that extra option to just make it 1 blue. I think definitely going to see play. Depends on what we see in control decks in this metagame. Okay, the next card we have is Induced Amnesia. It is 2 colorless and 1 blue. It's an enchantment, and it's whenever Induced Amnesia enters the battlefield, target player exiles all cards from his or her hand face down and draws that many cards. And when Induced Amnesia is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return the exiled cards to their owner's hand. It's more of a flavor card than anything. But I don't think it's a good card because you just say, put your hand in the graveyard, not graveyard, but exile it face down so they can't see it, then draw that many cards, and then if they kill it, then just get the cards back and that's more card advantage for them. So let's say they put 3 cards down and then destroy it, now they have 6 cards. It's really just helping your opponent. So I don't know what you would want to do with this card that would be good in standard, so in my opinion, not going to see some standard play. Next, we have Time Stream Navigator. For a colorless and a blue, Human Pirate Wizard. That's a nice combination. We have Ascend, so the City's Blessing if you control 2 or more permanents. And its ability is 2 colorless and 2 blue, and tap it to put Time Stream Navigator on the bottom of its owner's library. Take an extra turn after this one. Activate this ability only if you have the City's Blessing. Card's going to see play in any blue deck. I think that some broken stuff can happen with this Time Stream Navigator. So in my opinion, probably going to see play in standard. Next card we have is Kumina's Awakening. 2 colorless, 2 blue, enchantment with Ascend, so City's Blessing if you control 2 or more permanents. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. If you have the City's Blessing, instead only draw a card. if you have the City's Blessing, instead only you draw a card. Okay, so at the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card, and if you have the City's Blessing, instead you draw a card. For 4 mana, I know it's an enchantment, so it sticks around, but I don't think it's going to see that much play at all. Maybe one in the main of a blue deck, just for that extra card advantage late game. I mean, I understand it. I understand why they made it the way it was, but I don't believe it's going to see play, simply for the fact that it's double blue and 4 mana. Next card we have Aquatic Incursion. 3 colorless and a blue. Enchantment. And whenever Aquatic Incursion enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue merfolk creature tokens with hexproof. So the tokens have hexproof and you create 2 of them. And its second ability is 3 colorless and a blue. Target merfolk can't be blocked this turn. Might see play in the blue-green merfolk deck. That's probably going to happen. So might see a little bit of play in standard. Not going to bust anything. It sure is no Smuggler's Copter. Am I right, Dave? Dave's my brother. He might be watching this. I don't know. But Secrets of the Golden City. 2 blue and a colorless. Sorcery with Ascend. So if you control target more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. Draw 2 cards. If you have the City's Blessing, draw 3 instead. Probably not going to see much play, because 3 mana, draw 2 cards. There's better things. We have Glimmer of Genius. So, in my opinion, not going to see very much play in standard. Next card we have is Silver Gill Adept. 1 colorless and a blue. Merfolk Wizard for 2. It's a 2/1. And as an additional cost to cast it, reveal a Merfolk card from your hand or pay 3. So it can technically pay 5 mana, and whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. So this is probably going to see play in the Merfolk deck. Maybe as a 2-of, maybe as a 3-of. We don't know. We haven't seen the deck list for the Merfolk yet. Okay, and I think this is... Nope. 2 more cards to go. River Darter. 2 blue and a colorless. River Darter can't be blocked by dinosaurs. It's a 2/3. Moving on. Seafloor Oracle. 2 colorless and 2 blue. Merfolk Wizard. It's a 2/3. And whenever a Merfolk you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Definitely going to see play as a 1-of, possibly a 2-of, depending on how the deck's structured. Which Merfolk deck you play. I'm guessing there's going to be a couple variations around control, aggro, tempo. So, definitely might see play in one of those. And I believe that is it. Well, it has been great hanging out with you guys. I am the MTG Master 342. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.